Hello and welcome to Anandor. In today's class, we will check out the numerical problems under mode. Okay, so we have already finished the calculation, how to calculate median, how to calculate arithmetic mean, and the third one, let us check out the numerical problems under mode. So that is computation of mode. Okay, so you know what is the meaning of mode, isn't it? Mode is the most frequently observed value in the data or an observation with the highest frequency, isn't it? So the more number of times a particular value is occurring in a given data in a given series, that value happens to be mode. But only problem is sometimes there will be more than one mode in a particular series. More than one value will be occurring more number of times. Okay, so if there is only one modal value, that is only one value is having the highest concentration, highest number of frequency, then in a given observation, then it is known as unimodal. Okay, but if there are two modal values, two values are occurring more than one time or couple of times, then it is called as bimodal. But if there are more than two modal values in a particular observation, then it is called as multimodal. Okay, so that's why in the modal value it is found out in two methods. One is the observation method and the another one is the grouping method. Okay, so first let us check out the simplest one, the computation of mode under individual series based on observation method. Okay, so this is computation of mode individual series based on observation method. So question number 1, find mode from the following data. So what it is given, the wages 380, 430, 480, 480, 480, 480, 570, 590, 600 and 600. So this is the given data. So what we are finding out here, 480, the value 480 has occurred more number of times. 4 times it has occurred. Even though the value 600 has also occurred more number of times, but the value of 600 is occurring only twice. But whereas 480 is occurred more number of times, more than 2 times, 4 times. So it is very clear the modal value it is equal to 480. Mode always we represent by the alphabet Z. Okay, so mode, therefore mode Z is equal to 480 since 480 has occurred more number of times. Okay, so sorry, there's a spelling mistake here. So more number of times. So this is observation method. It's the simplest method. This is the individual series. Okay, so let us check out the other problem under the discrete series. So second one, computation of mode under discrete series. So if there are more than one modal value in a given data, then the value with maximum concentration is found out based on something called as grouping method. Okay, so let us check out how it is done. So question number 2, calculate mode for the following series. So this is what it is given. X value is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and F, that is the frequency, is 3, 8, 10, 12, 16, 14, 10, 8, 17, 5, 4 and 1. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to make two tables first. One is the grouping classification table and another one we have to make the analysis table to find out the mode. First let us check out how to make that group classification table. So you have to draw the table in this way. So you have X value, first column will be the X value. Okay, whatever the X value it is given, that will be the first column. And then after that you have to make 6 columns. So the X value, let us make it a 0 column because first column starts with the frequency. Okay, so let us make this as column 0. So now after that 0 to 6 columns you have to make. Okay, the column 0 will be whatever the values of X. So X values we have seen 2 to 13. So that's what 2 to 13 will be represented in the column 0 which is reflecting the values of x, and column 1 will be whatever the frequency which is given in the question. So frequency 3, 8, 10, 12, etc. So whatever given the frequency that we are mentioning in the column 1. So column 1 will be frequency, column 0 will be the x value. Okay, now after that column 2, how we are arriving at column 2? So the column 2, we are arriving at column 2 by figure arrived at by adding f of 2 rows each. Okay, so let me write it here. So column 0 will be the x value. Okay, and column 1 will be whatever the frequency. So column the frequency f. Okay, then column 2 will be so what it is given, column 2 is figure arrived by adding f of 2 rows each. Okay, now let us check out what is the figure arrived by f of 2 rows each. Okay, so now what is the 2 rows here? First row, this is the first row, and this one is the second row, isn't it? So 8 plus 3 we are getting 11. Okay, so 8 plus 3 we are getting 11. That means what we have done, we have added the frequency of, this is the first row, 2 is the first row, and 3 is the second row. So by adding 8 plus 3 we are getting 11. So whatever I am writing here is the values of x. It's not the frequency. Frequency is 3 plus 8. That's what we are getting. So here 3 plus 8, that is the frequency. We are getting 11, and 2 and 3 is the that x, corresponding x values. Okay, so like that you keep on adding all the 2 rows each. So 10 plus 12 we are getting 22. So now 22. So here 10 plus 12, this is the frequency, and corresponding x values is that 4 and 5, isn't it? And then next 16, 6th and 7th. So f value is 16 plus 14. So 16 plus 14 we are getting 13. So corresponding x is here 6 and 7. In the same way, the next one, f 10 plus frequency 10 plus 8, we are getting 18. So the corresponding x value is 8 and 9. Okay, then the next one, so like the 2 rows, this is column 2. Okay, so like the 2 rows of the frequency you keep on adding it. Okay, so now the next one is the frequency is 17 plus 5. So 17 plus 5 we are getting 22. So what is the corresponding x here? The corresponding is 10 and 11 here. And then finally we are left with the frequency 4 plus 1 5. The corresponding x is 12 and 13. So frequency, I mean, for your understanding, I am writing on the top what we are adding and which is the corresponding x. In the answer, when you are writing, you just mention what is the answer only. You need not have to write corresponding. This is for your easy understanding. Okay. So here 4 plus 1 5 we are getting. So the corresponding x is 12 and 13. So this is 12, 13. That's what I am mentioning here. So 12 and 13, because if you write the corresponding x value when you are making the analysis table, it will be useful for you. So now you have understood what is column 2. So column 2, what we are doing, all the figure is arriving by adding 2 rows each. Okay, So frequency of two rows. So 8 plus 3, 10 plus 12, 16 plus 14. This is column 2. Okay. Now what is column 3? So column 3 will be, so now column 3 will be figure arrived by adding f of 2 rows by leaving the first row. Okay, so that is two rows by leaving the first row. That means what? First row you should not take. All the remaining you have to keep on calculating the frequency to 2 rows each by leaving the first row. Okay, so please remember that. So by leaving the first row you have to keep on adding to 2 rows each. Okay, now let us check out. So what we have done, we have left the first row. So that means this is the first row, isn't it? So we have left the first row and then we keep adding it. So now what is that? 10 plus 8, isn't it? So this is the frequency. 10 plus 8, we are arriving at 18. 10 plus 8. So now what is the corresponding x value here? So the corresponding x value here is 3 and 4, isn't it? So that is 8 plus 10, 8 plus 10, whatever it is. So corresponding is 3 and for 10 it is 4. That's what I am mentioning here and in the brackets down. Okay, so like that, what is the next one? 28. 28 is 12 plus 16, isn't it? The frequency is 12 plus 16. What is the corresponding x value here? 12 corresponds to 5, 6 corresponds to 16 corresponds to 6. So 5 and 6. Then 14 plus 10, that is 24. So f of 14 plus 10. So the corresponding x value is 7 and 8. Okay. Then the next one is 8 and 17. The frequency of 8 and 17. 8 plus 17. So corresponding to 8, the x value is 9. Corresponding to 17, the x value is 10. Okay. And then the next one, the frequency 5 and 4. So 5 plus 4, we are getting 9. And the corresponding to 5, it is 11. And corresponding to 12, is corresponding to 4, it is 12. So this is column 3. Okay. Now what is column 4? How do we arrive at column 4? So column 4, we are arriving at figure arrived by adding f of 3 rows each. Till now we were calculating 2 rows and now we have to add the frequency of 3 rows each. Okay, that is column 4. Now let us check out. So column 4, how did we arrive at column 4? So now 21. So 21, so 3 plus 8, 11. 11 plus 10, we are getting 21. So what is the corresponding x value here? So the corresponding x value here is 2, 3, 4. Now I am not writing the frequency. Now I think you can understand how we are arriving at these values. Okay. So the next one, so like that you have to keep on calculating 3 rows each. So the first 3 rows over, the next 3 rows. So that is 3, 8, 10 is over. So what is the next 3 rows? 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, 7, we are having 12, 16 and 14. So 12 plus 16 plus 14. So we are getting 42. Isn't it? 12 plus 16 plus 14, we are getting 42. So this corresponding x value is 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then next 3 rows. So the next three rows is 10 plus 8 plus 17. We are getting 35. So corresponding x value here is 8, 9 and 10. So 10 plus 8, 18, 18 plus 17, we are getting 35. So corresponding x value is 8, 9 and 10. So finally the last 3 rows are left, that is 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So that's what we are getting, 10 here. So what is the corresponding x value here? Corresponding to 5 is 11, corresponding to 4 is 12, corresponding to 1 is 13. So this is 11, 12, 13. Okay, now the next one is column 5. So column 5, how we are arriving at column 5? So column 5 is the figure arrived. So figure arrived by adding f of 3 rows each, leaving the first row. So you have to leave the first row and then add 3 rows of frequency. So figure arrived by adding the f of 3 rows each, leaving the first row. Okay, so now this is column, so leaving the first row, so this one you should not take. So now 8 plus 10, 18, 18 plus 12, 30. So that's what we are getting, 30 here. So 30, how did we, what is the corresponding x value? Corresponding to x values 3, 4 and 5. So 3, 4 and 5. So like that. Next one, 16 plus 14 plus 10. We are getting 40. So what is the corresponding x value here? 6, 7 and 8. So if you are writing the x value, when you are making the analysis table, it will be useful for you. Okay, that's why I am writing the x value here. Then the next one is the, so we are finished with the 6, 7. So the next 8 plus 17 plus 5. Okay, so 17 plus 5, 22, 22 plus 8, 30. So that is corresponding x value is 9, 10 and 11. 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so the last remaining only 2. So if you are not able to add the remaining, so we have to add 3 rows each. But now only 12 and 13 is left over. So you can leave it like that. You need not have to add that. So this is as far as column 5 is concerned. Now the last column, so column 6. So the column 6 is figure arrived by f of 3 rows each, leaving first 2 rows. So 2 rows you should leave. All the remaining 3 rows you keep on add, the frequencies you keep on adding. So this is column 6. Figure arrived by adding f of 3 rows each, leaving the first 2 rows. Okay, so based on the first 2 rows we are leaving it. Okay, now what is the next one? 10 plus 12 plus 16, that is 4, 5 and 6. Corresponding x values 4, 5 and 6. So 10 plus 12 plus 16, we are getting 38. So corresponding x value is 4, 5 and 6. Okay, 4, 5 and 6. And after that 16, sorry, 10 plus 12 plus 16, we are getting 38, 4, 5, 6. After that 14 plus 10 plus 8, isn't it? So 14 plus 10, 24, 24 plus 8, 32. So we have got 32. So what is the corresponding x value here? So we have finished up to 6. So the corresponding x values here are 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then the next 3 rows, 17 plus 5 plus 4. Okay, so 17 plus 5 plus 4 is equal to 21. So the corresponding x is 10, 11 and 12. And then anyway only one more, 13, only one is left over, so you cannot add the frequency, so you leave it like that. So first you make the 6 columns, I mean including the x, it is 0, 1, so totally there will be 7 columns. So this is the grouping classification table. So if you remember how to calculate this f, so this part, how to calculate this part, the column 0 is x value, what is column, how we are column 1 anyway frequency, which will be already given in the question. From column 2 to column 6, how we have to calculate, just remember that. Okay, so if you remember that, you calculate accordingly. So then write in the table. After writing the table, what the next step, what you have to do is mark the highest frequency in each of the column. Okay, starting from the column 1, that is from the frequency column, mark the round the highest frequency. Okay, highest value. So as far as the column 1 is concerned, that is the frequency, you can see that which is the highest here, 3, 8, 10, 12, 16, 14, 10, 8. So you can see that 17 is the highest, so round the 17. So 17 happens to be the highest in column 1, so round that 17. And in the same way, column 2, you can see 11, 22, 30, 18, 22 and 5. So you can see that 30 happens to be the highest one, so again round the highest one, that is 30. So like that, in column 3, 18, 28, 24, 25 and 9. So which is the highest here? The highest happens to be 28, so round the highest one, 28. So like that, in column 4, you can see that 21, 42 and 35, the highest is 42, round the 42. And then in column 5, 30, 40 and 30, so 40 is the highest one, so round the 40. And then finally in column 6, 38, 32 and 26, so 38 is the highest, so circle the value 38. Okay, so this is the grouping classification table. So after you make the grouping classification table, you have to write the analysis table. So in the analysis table, what you have to do is, whatever the x value, you write horizontally. Okay, so x value, you write all this 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the x value, isn't it? So this is the, all this you write in the horizontal, and then this row wise you write all the columns. We have from apart from x, that is 0, we are having 6 columns, so that you write first, so 1 to 6. Okay, so in the left hand side you write all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the horizontally you write all the x values, whatever the given x values in the question. Here it is from 2 to 13. Okay, now in column 1, you have marked the highest value, isn't it? So which is the column 1, as far as this answer is concerned, you have marked 17 highest. We know that 17 is the highest, so 17 is the highest, corresponding to which x value? So corresponding to 10, isn't it? So corresponding to 10, which is the highest value. So now when you are writing the analysis table, so corresponding to 10, put a tick mark. Okay, so in column 1, the highest values appearing in x value, that is corresponding to 10, so put a tick mark there. Okay, now in column 2, which is the highest value? So in column 2, we have found out it is 30. So 30 is the highest value. So we have already mentioned here 30. How did we arrive at 30? 16 plus 14, isn't it? That's how we have arrived at 30. So 6 and 7. So we already mentioned here 6 and 7. This is why I said, if you are writing the analysis, when you are making the analysis table, this will be helpful if you write the x values underneath. Okay, at least in pencil you just mention, so that it will be easy for you. So 6 and 7. Sorry. So again in column 2, you mark the highest value, put a tick mark 6 and 7. Okay, so 6 and 7 you mark the highest, put a tick mark there. So like that in column 3 we have found out that 28 is the highest. So 28 is the highest against 5 and 6. So in the analysis table you put a tick mark against 5 and 6. And then in column 4, so in column 4, 42 is the highest, which is 5, 6, 7, isn't it? So you put a tick mark against 5, 6, 7 in column 4. So column 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and in column 5, 40 is the highest we are getting. This 40, the corresponding x value is 6, 7, 8. So in the analysis table, you put a tick mark in 6, 7, 8. Again in column 5. So column 5, you have put a tick mark in 6, 7 and 8. Okay. Finally, in column 6, the highest value is 38, which is arrived at 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so you put a tick mark in column 6, 4, 5 and 6. Now you total the number of tick marks. So in the first and all, the second you don't have anything. So this is nil. 3 is also nil. Under 4 we are getting 1 tick mark, isn't it? And under 5 we got 3 tick marks. Under 6 we have got 5 tick marks. Under 7 we have got 3 tick marks. Under 8 we have got 1. Under 9 again there is nothing. Under 10 we have got 1 tick mark. So this represents the highest frequency. So highest frequency is 6, because the maximum frequency we are finding it in against 6. Okay, so 5. So what is the modal value here is happens to be 6, because 6 the highest, getting the highest frequency. So that is the mode. Okay, so this is how you are finding out the modal value by making the, this is the grouping method, by making the group classification and the analysis method table. So this is the group classification table, and based on the group classification table you are making the analysis table by marking the highest value against each x value. Okay, then you find out the modal value. Understood? And this is for the discrete series. And as far as the continuous series is concerned, the answer is the same. Up to here the answer will be the, the method will be the same, but only thing is here it will be, instead of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the continuous series, what will happen, maybe it is 20 to 30, 30 to 40. I am just saying, suppose for example, what you have to do for the continuous series, I am just giving you the example. Okay, so like that 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100 and so on. Okay, so you know what is a continuous series, isn't it? So instead of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that, in continuous series it will be, it is a continuous. Okay, it will be with the class interval. So if the question is based on continuous series, it will be like this. So now what you have found out here, assume that this is the modal value. So instead of 6, the modal value will be 60 to 70. Okay, so here, because in the discrete series you have identified 6 is the modal value, but in the continuous series the same thing will be in this form, 60 to 70. So now instead of 6, what you will write? You will write the modal value is 60 to 70. So now when you write 60 to 70, you have one lower limit and you have the upper limit. Okay, and after finding out this modal class, so now you have found out the modal class. After that, what you have to do, you have to, so that the step 1, find out the modal class through the group classification table and the analysis table as above. Assuming that we have found out the modal class for some question and the modal class happens to be 60 to 70. Now after that you have to apply this formula. This is mod Z is equal to L1 plus delta 1 divided by delta 1 plus delta 2 into I, that is the class interval. Now what is the L1 here? Lower limit of the model class. So the lower limit of the model class, suppose if it is 60 to 70, 60 will be the L1. Okay. So and then delta 1 will be F1 minus F0. What is F1? Frequency of the model class. So 60 to 70, whatever the frequency, that will be F1. Okay. And F0 will be frequency of the class preceding to model class. So previous class, whatever the model value, that is whatever the frequency, that 60 to 70, before it is 50 to 60. So whatever the frequency on 50 to 60, so that will be F0. Okay, that will be delta 1. So F1, you know, F1 is the frequency of the model class, that is 60 to 70. F0 will be frequency of the previous class, that is 50 to 60. And then delta 2 will be F1 minus F2. F1 we already know, and F2 will be frequency of the class after the model class, that is 70 to 80. So whatever the frequency you are getting, you are finding it for 70 to 80, that will be F2, and F1 minus F2 will be delta 2, and I will be the size of the class interval. Okay. Now if you substitute all this, now you know L1 will be the lower limit, delta 1 F1 minus F0. What is F1? Frequency of the model class. F0 will be frequency preceding to the model class divided by delta 1 plus delta 2. Delta 2 will be F1 minus F2. F2 will be the frequency of the next to the model class. Okay. So now you know all the values. Substitute the values in this given formulae. So this formula, whatever the values that you substituted, and then when you solve it, you will arrive at the mode. Okay. So this is how we have to find out the modal value if it is in the form of a continuous series. Okay. Hope you have understood. If it is an individual series, we are just observing it. Okay. So like this, we are just observing. Based on the observation method, we are finding out the modal value. If it is a discrete series, and if it is, the modal value is more than one modal value you are finding in the observation, we are making the group classification table and the analysis table, and then finding out the modal value. Okay. So this is how you have to find out the group classification table. This is the group classification table, and based on that you are making the analysis table, find out the maximum and corresponding this wherever which is the highest frequency, corresponding that x value will be the modal. So see, this phi is not the modal value. Whatever the corresponding x value will be the modal value. If it is given in the form of a continuous series, then find out the lower limit and upper limit. First find out the modal class, and after finding out the modal class, apply this formula and then substitute the values and then find out the modal value. Okay. So this is how we are finding out the mode. Hope it is clear to all of you. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comment box. Okay. So for the time being, this will be my last class, because day after, that is on 16th, you are having your board exam, isn't it? So wish you all the best. Good luck to all of you. And still, if you have any doubts, you can comment, you can mention them in the comment box. Okay. So I mean, after this, I have already finished the, if you have subscribed to my channel, you would find that I have already finished the classes for the senior intermediate, and now with this I am finishing for the junior intermediate. Junior intermediate, mainly I have, along with the notes, I have explained all the important questions, okay, for 5 marks and 10 marks. Okay. And after that, my next class will be, I am going to take for the CPT students. Okay. So whatever the CA foundation, they have one economics paper. So after a while, in a time, in quite short while, I will very soon, I will be coming up with the videos for the CPT students, and also after that I am going to start the economics for the CBSE students. Okay. So please stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comment box, and please do share my link to your friends and to your juniors. Okay. So all the best to all of you. Good luck. Take care. Bye bye.